Okay, so yeah. Awesome. All right. So thank you for joining this event. As we mentioned earlier on, so this event is basically meant for both new MLSs and the old MLSs, those who have proven hosting their events. This event is meant for all of you. Myself, still going to learn from this event as well, because we still need to better up the hosting of our events as well. And it's being organized by myself, Shadrach Inusa. I'm a good MLSC from Ghana, with my colleague here, Swari Rajwa, um, a beta MLSA, if yes, a beta MLSA. So we are going to take you through how to organize your first event, as I mentioned earlier on, as MLSA. It's going to be pure practicals and then knowledge base as well. Yes. So to start with, I would like to hand over to Swati to take us through.
Sure, Shari. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Swati, and I'm super excited for this event because I remember myself being an Alpha Student Ambassador once. And, in the beginning, everything gets kind of confusing and you are unable to find the right resources. And that's where we kind of decided to, let's just use our wisdom and our experiences to help all the new ambassadors. So first of all, I would like each one of you to, I would like to congratulate each one of you. You have achieved a lot, and I'm sure that you will be contributing a lot in this community as Shady and I have been doing it. So Shady, can you go to the next slide? Yeah, so important information as Shady shared it previously. This event is being recorded currently. This is for the purpose of archiving and for those who are unable to attend it. And if you have any questions, certainly feel free to unmute yourselves and ask this question. It's going to be an interactive session. And the more you ask, the more you get, right? So I would highly recommend you to ask as many questions as you would like to. Hey Diksha, hi. Welcome to the session. I just saw your message. Shady, can you go to the next slide? All right, so this is the agenda. As you can see, it's a pretty short agenda. So we kind of wanted it to be interactive, and that's why we have kind of kept it to the minimum. We are going to introduce you exactly how to prepare your first event. What are the resources that you might need? What are the things which you should be careful of, and things like that. Then the best practices for an event. Much recently, I have authored an article on Medium, which would explain step by step how to organize and conduct your first event as a Microsoft Learn student ambassador. We'll quickly walk through that, and Shady will walk you through the demo of exactly how to create the forms, the email templates, and things like that. In between, you are most welcome to ask the questions that you need, to clarify the things which we might miss as well. And of course, at the end, we will also have a Q&A session if time permits. Next slide, please. So I am just sharing. So this is the Medium article which I have authored, and these are the best practices. So during the COVID times, all the events are currently being held virtually. Therefore, the focus of this article or the focus of this event is going to be organizing and managing the virtual events. Okay, because having an offline or a in-person events are a different experience. So we are kind of focusing only on the virtual events because that also are very important to take care of, right? So the step number one, if you see on your screen, is the selection of the topic. This is the first thing, right, folks? You need to identify the topic which you kind of feel the most comfortable. For example, at your university, you need to identify what are the skills that are highly recommended, that are highly asked for by the student community at your organization or wherever you're working on, right? So that's also important. At the same time, I would also recommend each one of you to see which Microsoft service you feel the most comfortable to work in. For instance, I can give you my example. I am really fond of Microsoft Azure services. Shady is fond of Office services. So we have our own interests in the Microsoft services, and there is no limit to how many services you can work upon, right? Because you not only have to share the knowledge with others, you also have to learn at the same time, right? So just make sure that you select the right topic which is appropriate for you, as well as for the community which you are going to be guiding, right? Because people would like to come to your session only when you are presenting something which interests them the most. Okay, so that's why I have given it the priority. You need to select any topic before you can even think about organizing an event. So, if you don't feel much comfortable in a topic, you can even invite speakers who are kind of expert in that domain, and you can co-host and just learn from their experiences at the same time. So yeah, if you're not sure again about the topics, just go to Microsoft Teams. Maybe after this event, we can share a link where you can find all the topics that you can work upon. All right, so that was about selection of the topic. Next, we have the target audience. Again, you have to identify your target audience. So, for example, if you're creating any event, you need to identify, are there any prerequisites to attend your event? Because obviously, a person who's attending your event is giving his or her time. The person should know whether that event will be useful for him or her or not, right? So identify if there are prerequisites, identify if the person should know the C language or not beforehand, or if there are no prerequisites at all, right? So for instance, for this event, there are no prerequisites. You need not to have any knowledge about creating an event before. We are going to walk you through it from the very beginning. So that's where you decide the target audience. And of course, for this event, mostly the target audience is new Microsoft Learn student ambassadors who will find themselves in kind of stuck about the resources, right? So having this information like the target audience will be handy when you are, preparing your content. That will be easy for the attendees to understand. So that's all about the target audience. Next, we have the event duration. So I cannot emphasize enough the importance of the duration that you set up for your event, because once you finalize the topic, you need to determine the duration for which you want to conduct your event. I mean, the duration is critically important for both the audience as well as your speaker. So if your event duration gets too lengthy, let's just say some topics and some services may take a long time, I would say it would be promising idea to divide the topics into subtopics and cover them individually in two different sessions, right? Just don't drag the session for too long, because it will be tiresome for both the audience as well as the speaker himself or herself, right? And if for some reason, let's say for some reason your event has to be conducted for more than 1 hour, you can kind of accommodate a 5 to 10 minutes break in between for your audience, for yourself to, get refreshed and things like that. So that was the event duration. Make sure you are on time. Make sure you conclude the event and or the session on time, right? So that was the third step I would recommend. Then you have the agenda. Now you have to be very crisp and you have to have a predefined agenda. So for instance, Shady presented the agenda of this topic, and we are going to stick to it because we value your time as well as our time. So it's really important to stick to your agenda and prepare accordingly while you are preparing the presentation or slides or videos, whatever it is. And also note that agenda creation would be, I would say, it's a iterative process. It's not fixed. You may start with 10 agendas and you may end up with only 5, right? So it's an iterative process. You update your agenda many times to accommodate necessary information that is both catchy as well as useful to you as well as your audience. So I would say that's the fourth step and very important one. Then the presentation, right? This is the step number 5, the most important one, because if the event requires you to present something, you should prepare Microsoft PowerPoint slides. I will certainly share some links, or maybe Shady can share that. So Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador SharePoint has certain templates that you can use. For example, the one you see on your screens is also a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador template. So they have provided us some predefined templates that give you the look and feel that, yeah, you are attending a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador event for, right? So also, apart from the templates, you can also include many, what do you say, visualizations as possible. You also should proofread your slides to ensure that the content is aligned with the agenda. That's what I mentioned in step number 4, that you should make sure that your agenda is crisp. And in order to align your content with the agenda, you might again have to update your agenda. That's what I was talking about, iterative process. So your slides should also contain the latest and most accurate information, right? I mean, this is also important. Your session will be viewed by so many people from so many countries, right? Like it's not just your community, people around the world will be attending your event, and you should ensure that your content is up to the time, it's correct, and it's not some old information. That's what I meant. And so another significant thing which I personally take care of all the time is the giving references. So it's not wrong thing to refer someone else's work, but what I would say that if you have taken, let's say, a picture from online resources, I highly recommend that you mention the URL somewhere in the slide. You know what happens when you do that? It ensures your credibility as a presenter and shows that you acknowledge someone else's work as well. So make sure that you acknowledge someone else's work, you refer them, that's fine, but you also, somewhere in the slide mention that this is the resource which I, have taken this picture from, or this article from, things like that. I mean, it will be a good habit. So that was step number 5, the presentation, creation of the presentation. Take Microsoft PowerPoint, use pictures as much as you would want to, because, otherwise it gets boring. Mention whatever the references are in the slides. Next is a demonstration or the demo. So for example, a technical presentation without any demo can get a bit tiresome, right? So if you are just kind of listening, and if you are not able to see anything working, it will truly get boring, right? So you should try to keep your audience engaged throughout the event by presenting some hands-on demos, I would say. Now, demos are not that easy. So, we have demo gods. So they don't work when you have to present things. I know, all hail to demo gods. But you should also make sure that you do not rush into demos so that it is easy for everyone to understand, right? Your audience will have people who know the topic and who don't know the topic as well. So you have to kind of find the balance between both the audiences. You need to take care of all the parties in the session. So clarify even the most basic steps. Now, how do you do that? Just select a friend or a fellow student ambassador who matches the target audience that you have mentioned and show your demo to them. Before the event, show your demo to someone who's not aware of the topic. Now, what will happen basically? So, this entire activity has been a truly valuable practice for me because it kind of allows me to get a viewpoint from attendees' perspective, and I try to make changes appropriately. So you just have to bug your friends. You can bug me. You can bug Shady anytime, and the person will tell whether he or she is able to understand or not. The rule I follow is if my mother is able to understand it, everyone else can understand it. So you can find someone like that. All right. So in case if your event or your session that you are planning to conduct does not have any technical demonstration as say, so you can use fun quizzes, right? So you can use the quizzes at Kahoot. I'll share the link as well if you would want to. Just create something fun and interactive, right? I mean, it's up to you. Use your just. This is really the field to put the creativity hat on. You can be as creative as you would want to because MLSF does not, hold back. You can do as much as you would want to. Just make sure it's professional. It's just up to the level, and yeah, you are good to go. So that was about the step number 6, demonstration. How do you present your event? Before presentation, make sure you rehearse it with someone else who's not aware of your domain and just see whether the person is able to understand or not, right? All right, so with that, let's move to the next step, which is step number 7, promoting your event. So now I would say that as much as the quality of your presentation is important, promoting your event is equally important, right? So once you have finished all the pre-event activities, it's certainly the time to kind of promote your event. So, you just create the text messages, the registration forms if you need that, email templates, which Shady will certainly share with you in a couple of minutes from now. And you can, for all these resources, you don't have to create them on your own. Our previous Microsoft Learn student ambassadors have already created certain templates for the email that you can use. Just make some changes according to your event. For example, whatever is the event name that you are creating, what is the time, things like that. And all this information you can find in the SharePoint. I'll share the link so you don't have to worry about that much. It's all there in a folder and you can just utilize it. what I would recommend is that you do know where exactly this exists, right? All right, so now people, I think before we started this event, someone asked me about how do you create this poster and things like that. So there are certain necessary things which should be there in your poster. Before you make it aesthetically sound, you should make it you should make all the information available on your event poster. So for example, what is the name of the event, time and duration, what is the location? So since it's COVID-19, so all are virtually, still it's like a good habit to mention that it's a virtual event, right? Who's the host? Who's the presenter? Are there any co-speakers? So for example, this event host is Shedrick and I'm the co-speaker here, right? So you do need to mention that these are the people who are going to be hosting and speaking in this event. Any registration link that should also be there on your poster, and what are the perks of attending the event. So for this event you will you get to know how to create your event. For some events you may also share the participation certificate with your attendees, things like that. It's up to you, seriously. So yeah, these are the things which you can include. And in the email, the communications which you are going to use. So if you have used registration form that the attendees will have to pre-register before the event, you should, share the event link with them in the email. So for example, in this case, we didn't have any pre-registration form, so we couldn't do that. But in case if you are using pre-registration form, do share the meeting link with them also, so that they can join in the meeting, right? They would need that, of course. So that was about promoting your event. Share the event on LinkedIn, share the event on Facebook, share it with your friends, share it with other universities as much as you can, because that will increase your visibility with people, right? You really need to be visible to be heard. Okay. Next step is, so I think so far we are good. If you have any questions, do feel free to ask in the chat box or unmute yourself. Anyways, step number 7, setting up the Teams meeting. This is very easy, but sometimes you may feel you may get some errors, and you might end up wasting a lot of time, like I did when I was creating my first event. So if you're conducting your event for the first time, you have to go to the community hub channel, and over there it's ambassador events, I think. Correct me, Shady, if I'm wrong. In the community hub, you have to go to the ambassador events channel, and there you have to conduct all your first events. Every first event has to be conducted on Microsoft Teams. Do remember that it's necessary. It's important for you to do that, okay? And again, now the important is, when you're setting up a time, you have to decide a time which is not too early or too late. So for example, because this event, whatever event you are going to organize, might be attended by anyone in any part of the world. So kind of make sure that it's not too early for anyone or it's not too late. Of course, make sure that the time is according to the geography where most of the people are going to join. For example, if you are from India, so, and if you are expecting that most of the people will be from Indian region, just have a time which is as per the Indian standard time, right? Because most of your audience is Indian. And same goes for GMT time zone or whatever time zone you are from. Just make sure that you do give due consideration to the time of your event. It shouldn't be too early, it shouldn't be too late either, because people have their lives and schedules to follow. All right, so again, it should not overlap with the academic classes as well. Maybe keep the events on weekend like we did, like it's a Saturday in all parts of the world. So just do that, okay? Again, so there are some errors which you might face. For example, if you face unable to schedule event error, contact your CPM immediately, because I know I didn't contact my CPM. I kept creating the event again and again and again, and at that time almost 15 events were created by my side, which was the wrong thing. There's some issue with Microsoft Teams that can be resolved by a CPM also. So do take care of that. And CPMs are really always ready to help the ambassadors, and they're extremely helpful in resolving any issue that you might face. Okay, so just feel free to connect with them. Don't feel, but also I would like to tell each one of you that due to multiple student inquiries, sometimes they may not be able to help you or maybe connect with you soon. So just be patient. If you have pinged them something, if you have asked them a question, just feel free to connect them, but also make sure that you are being patient. And anyways, you can connect with me or Shady or any other student ambassador who has been in this for quite a while now. All right, so that was step number 8. Shady, I think your screen is not visible. Can anyone confirm if they are able to see the slides?
No, it's not visible. So,
It's not visible?
Yeah, screen
no,
is not.
it's not.
Just hold on. I think there must be some technical issue with Shady. Okay, there it goes. Thank you, Shady. All right. So with that, we move to the next step, which is the step number 8. I'm sorry. Step number 9. One day before the event. So you see, you are already approaching towards the event. So you need to make sure that you are kind of active and all pumped up because you have prepared the best topic, you have selected the target audience, you have prepared the best presentation so far using all the resources which Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador community has provided. You prepared your best demo, you hail to demo gods also. You have promoted your events so well, you have set up your meeting. Now, what do you do one day before the event? Well, all the resources which you need during the event should be at a single place on your system. Okay, you need not have all the files located in some part of your system and other on some part. Make sure that all the events, for example, whatever you need to present is there on a single folder for your own convenience. I mean, it's really for your convenience. You don't have to find it during the event. Again, you can create your own Teams channel to rehearse by creating a dummy meeting. Create a dummy meeting, ask your friends, bug them, tell them that this is what I'm planning to do, and just keep a buffer of 10 minutes also to finish on time. So for example, if you're planning an event for 1 hour, finish it within 50 minutes so that you have 10 minutes extra and your audience can ask as many questions as they would want to. Let's move on to the next step, which is step number 10, the event day. Yay, the D-Day has arrived. Now you have done so well so far. What do you do on the event day? So as a courtesy, I would say you can send a reminder email to all your attendees 5 to 15 minutes before the event starts. Now, what does it has to do anything with the event? Well, this will essentially allow them enough time to join the event without any hustle, right? I mean, they will be able to know, oh, so there is a Microsoft Teams meeting going on right now. Shady and Swati are going to present it, and probably I can join it because I like to, right? So also, since this will be your first event, right? So this event is about creating your first event. You need to ensure that you are recording your event. It's very important that you record your event. Shady will be able to show you where exactly the option is to record your event. You have to record your event because you have to share the link of your recording with the Microsoft Learn Ambassador team to approve your event, right? This is your first event, so you have to record it. This is a good habit, I would say, right? It's my fifth or sixth event and we are still recording it. It's a good habit to have a recording of your event. So do not forget. So whosoever are taking notes, please take this note. Do not forget to record your event. This is important. All right. And then the step number 11, which is the final step, is the after event. Now your event has been done. You were super, super, super great in your event. You answered all the questions. You presented everything smoothly, seamlessly. What do you do after the event? So as the event concludes, take some time to reflect on how it went. This is my favorite part because it helps me to improve, right? I watch my recorded events to find the gaps, and that is what I try to revamp during the next event. There is always something to improve upon. And when you look back on the recorded session, you do see, oh my God, I should have done this, I should have done that. So do make sure that during the next event, you do not repeat those mistakes again, right? And as a courtesy, also again, it's optional, it's not necessary, but you can send a thank you email to the attendees along with a feedback form. Now, audience feedback is an enormously powerful means of improving your future events. Also, you can keep the feedback form pretty anonymous so that the person feels comfortable sharing the suggestion, right? I mean, it's not I'm going to hunt you down and kill you. Your audience should be pretty comfortable in sharing their information, their feedbacks, because that's valuable, I would say. You can improve a lot with the audience feedback. And one last thing to take care of is you are required to submit the event which you conducted as a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador for approval. there is a whole super awesome video to understand how to upload your event, how to create your event, and how to submit it for approvals, right? We will share that with you. Do not worry, because that's the whole essence of this session. We want you to know what are the resources you can use to create your first event, right? So there is a video. We'll certainly share that with you. So yeah, so that's all I had to share. These were the 11 steps which I kind of found really useful after I conducted my first session as a Microsoft Learn student ambassador. So this is a kind of a checklist, right? So feel free to do it the way you would want to, and please feel free to let me know also how you did it in the comment section. I mean, you can ping me. We are just one hi away from connecting. Just let me know, and I would be more than happy to help you in any way possible. I mean, we are here to help each other. That's the part of it. And also remember, as a Microsoft Learn student ambassador, you empower those who are around you, right? So yeah, that's all I had, and I'm sure that this must have given you some insight into what exactly is this creation of a first event all about, how to do it, what are the technicalities you need to take care of, and what are the resources which Microsoft provides to you to ensure that you conduct your first event smoothly. Okay. So yeah, I hope that you all will conduct your first event soon. Do share the link with me. I would be more than happy to join your first event. Okay. And with that, I would pass it over to Shadrick. Shadrick, take it over.
Yeah, I think you have some few questions here, just about
Sure.
2 questions. If you can check the chat
Sure,
session.
sure.
Yep.
Okay.
So
So
it's
minimum
about the
number.
minimum number of participants, and
So
then
for the first event, I think the minimum number of participants has to be 20. Correct me if I'm wrong, Shadrick.
I know of 15. That's the
Okay.
minimum. 15.
See,
Yeah.
Akshay, I would say that you should keep it 20, because once you keep it 20, then only you will have a full proof that yeah, 15 people will join. So don't
Yeah,
make
sure.
it 15. Don't make it 15. Make it 20 so that you have that buffer of 5 more people. So just in case if someone else drops, you still have at
Sure.
least 15 people during the meeting
That's
throughout.
true.
Yeah. All right. So is it compulsory?
Then there's another. Yeah.
Compulsory to use Microsoft? Can we use Canva? You can use anything you would want to, Diksha. But I would say that Microsoft resources are pretty useful, because if you see the slide on your screen right now, it kind of gives you a feel of Microsoft Student Learn Ambassador community. If you see the color combination over there, it's pretty much visible that yeah, some Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador is giving the presentation, right? So I would say that if you don't want to spend much time in doing the aesthetics and want to focus on the technicalities of your event, you should certainly go for Microsoft PowerPoint slides that has been created for us to take, right? I mean, you can use Canva, but I mean that will be an added complexity for your part, right? So yeah, I mean it's up to you, truly. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would say for the first slide, do use the Microsoft PowerPoint. In the later on, you can use the Canva that you are talking about. That's fine. But I would say at least try them out for once. It will help you maybe in the future events. Okay. Yeah. Any more questions? Okay, Diksha. Thank you. Okay, how to create a dummy meeting for practice. So you all have to be like, okay, I'll show you. So if you go to Teams and so if you go to the Teams, so on the right, on the left side of your navigation bar in the Teams, there is an option to join or create a team. Okay, so you all can probably go through that later on. So there is an option to join or create team. Create a team that will consist of only you, right? And in that team, you try to create your own meeting, and you can even try to create your own message that will be floated around to everyone. So that's how you can create a dummy meeting for practice. So why I'm saying that you should create a separate channel for that, because you cannot create a dummy meeting in our ambassador channels that will be shared with everyone, so that won't be dummy anymore. I hope I'm clear here. All right, so what about the design of the presentation? We should design it, or is there? Also, Nadeem, so as I already mentioned, there is a template which is there. So this is the black template. There is a white template also. Okay, so we'll share the PowerPoint folder that contains all the templates.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah, sure, Shedrick. Yeah. So just go for it. I mean, Microsoft has provided it, so you don't have to create any template for you. Just focus on your presentation, right? Focus on the work that you want to present and the services which you want to talk about. So template is already there. It's been taken care of, and not just for the presentation, for the email templates also, right? All right, great, super. Okay, the minimum number of participants I failed to hear. All right, so it's 15. I now remember that because I was creating my first event some time back. It was 15, but just go for at least 20 people, because that way if someone drops out of your meeting, you'll still have 15 people all the time. Also, once you conclude your meeting, you'll have an attendees list also. I mean, there is an Excel sheet which will be created, and you can see the people who attended your event. So if in case you are planning to share participation certificate with your attendees, you can also share that to only those people who attended the event. There's a template for that also, everyone. Again, this is the SharePoint folder which we are talking about again and again. We'll share that certainly with you, and you'll be able to understand. Do promote your event a lot. Okay, I mean, I'll share the Medium article where all this information is there. I actually was getting a lot of questions by people about how to create the event. I did explain to some of them, but it was kind of getting redundant, and that's where I decided to write it down for your own. So super awesome. So do you have any more questions, so or we can move to the next part? Awesome. I mean, you guys are actually listening. That's great. I mean, seems like we are getting a lot of new events. Awesome events. Also,
Okay, so thank
share.
you very much, Swati.
Thank you so much.
I mean, I've also learned from you as well. Learning doesn't end, so we keep learning as time goes on. So I think thank you very much for this. Yes, as Swati mentioned earlier on, we are going to have a demo. Okay, we are going to have a demo on how to host your first event. It's just a basic demo for you to understand just the basic stuff you need to do to host your first event. So as I mentioned earlier on, if you missed the first slide, let me see if I can get the first slide. If you missed the first slide, yes, so the event is about how to organize your first event as MLSA, and it's hosted by me, Shadrach Yunusa, and Swati Rajwal as well. So that's the introduction if you missed it. So as Swati mentioned earlier on, we are going to have a demo. Straight away, we are going to have a demo. And then I'm going to take you through everything from the hosting of events. Hosting event 101 is that is it's an step-by-step instructions or step-by-step way of hosting events, which has been provided to ambassadors to use, and that's what we are going to use to host events, but we do everything practical so that you'll be used to the Teams platform. So I'm going to share my Teams whilst we are having the event. Let me stop sharing this, then I will share my Teams so you see what I'm talking about. Okay, just a second. All right. Okay, so this is my Teams platform. As you all can see, we all have access to this. I'm using the web actually. I'm not using the app. You can also use the app as well. That's fine. So this is my platform. Let me bring this somewhere here. Okay. All right. Swati has a face showing on the screen. That's fine. Okay. So So this is what we all have. Okay, this is what we all have. You have the community hubs, you have AI gaming planning community. You have, so in the community hub, Swati mentioned earlier on about the ambassador event. So our event is live here, as you can see. So you create your event in this platform. Okay, so you've seen the community hub. When you come to the community hub, we have ambassadors events. That's where your event should be. Yes, someone will be asking, so how will I schedule my event in this platform? Okay, so you can come here on your far right hand side. You've seen schedule event, so you can schedule the event in this platform. That's here. Okay, so that's if you want to schedule your event. You want your event to be only among the MLSAs. The reason why I'm saying that is when you are hosting an event, I will really encourage you guys, if you are hosting the event for your community, don't host it here. I will really encourage that. Yes, someone will ask why. Okay, so the reason being that if you host an event here, okay, you know, we have external people joining. So, I mean, your colleagues are not part of the MLSA program. Okay, that's what you have to note. They are not part of the MLSA program. So when you are scheduling your event, make sure you schedule your event on its own so that at the end of the event, you can have a full chart of the event. I mean, with those who joined externally from different with different emails. Okay, but if you host the event here, you won't see, they won't be able to chat here. Okay, those with external emails won't be able to chat here. That is the secret behind that. So when you are hosting an email and you are hosting an event and the event is open to your community, make sure you don't host it here, but you can share the link here for those who want to join to also join. You can share the link here, fine, that's fine. But when you are hosting, don't host it in this channel. I will show you how to host your event as well. So we'll go through that as well. So I'm just introducing this to you. And this is what we are going to use. So in the community hub, we have general, and then here we have the hosting of events 101. Okay, so this is what we are going to walk through to learn how to host our first event. Okay, so if you open the hosting of event 101, you have Swati's article here. I mean, most of you have opened it already. You see the article Swati talk about. She is here with us, and then she has explained the article with us, and she has also shared the link. So the article is here as well. So event topics. So you have the event topics also here. You can get events, awesome event topics here. So this article actually is your, as I said earlier on, community hubs. You go to general, you should see it on the tab here. That's events, hosting events 101. Okay, so you have the you can browse through the channel to see what other students are doing. Okay, so you can take topics from other students as well and all those things. Yes, so quickly, let's just move straight to how to set up your first event. Okay, so you schedule your event on the student ambassador teams tenant. Okay, so you schedule your event in the teams. That's the first thing you do. So the first thing you do is to go to your calendar. Okay, first thing you do, you go to your calendar. My calendar is messed. You go to your calendar. Okay, when you go to your calendar, then you go to the far top right hand side. You will see schedule meeting. Okay, we have webinar, we have live events. I would advise you to go for schedule meeting if you are not used to any of this. Okay, so you go for schedule meeting, you tap on that. Okay, you give your event a title. My first event. Okay, you give your event title. If you have some few attendees you want to invite, you can also invite them. With in case you have someone who is already part of the MLSA program, when you type the person name, it pops up. Okay, so if you are new to this, that's how it works. You type the person name, it pops up. Okay, then now you pick your date, which I know most of us can pick that. You pick your date, your time. Okay, when you are done, then okay, so the time, you don't need to change the time. With the time, it's picked according to where you are located. Okay, it picked the time zone according to where you are located. Mine is UTC, that's GMT +0. So I'm on this and I don't need to touch anything else. Don't touch anything here. Just leave everything as it is. Don't touch anything. Just leave everything. Okay, then okay. Then so yes, this option, yeah, okay. So this for people in your organization and guests. So you can pick this, but I will urge you to leave it out. Don't touch anything. Just leave everything out. Then when you come here, that's if your event is a repetitive event. If it's a series or something that will be repeating every Monday or every Tuesday, you can do that here. So in case you don't have any idea on that, so you can do that here as well. Then if it is the whole day, you can set this the whole day. So the event will be the whole day. So this is where the channel is. Okay, the channel where you host your event, that's community hubs. So moreover, most of us have communities on our own. Okay, we have normal communities on our own. So I have Ghana here. I can go and pick Ghana. Then the event will be live in only Ghana because I'm from Ghana. Okay, but if you want to host the event with the community, you want the community to see your event, you can select the ambassador events. Okay, in the community hubs, you select the ambassador events. So let me show you. Let me go through again for the second time. You tap on this. As soon as you tap on it, the channel pop up. You go to community hubs. Okay, then you go to the ambassador events. Okay, so meaning, so that's what is happening. You realize my event or the event we are hosting is popping up in the ambassador event. So this is what I did. Okay, so you do, but if you are hosting the event and you are having external people joining you, I will urge you to leave this thing out. If not that, your attendees won't be able to have access to the chat platform. Okay, take this advice. They won't. I've actually passed through this, and it wasn't cool at all. So if you are having external attendees in your school, then make sure you don't add the channel. Else, when you add the channel, the event is being hosted, it's going to be hosted in the event platform. And when it's hosted in the event platform, your attendees who are external out of the organization won't be able to have access to the chat platform. And that is going to be something which is not cool. Okay, so just leave this out, and your event, whilst you chat, your event will create a chat platform on its own. I will show you how that looks like. Okay, you can give it a location. I mean, if it's not compulsory, you can give it a location, and you give it a description as well. Okay, so I don't know if you've noticed this. There's no link here. I don't know if any of you have noticed this. There is no link here. So you can't see the link of your event. Like someone will ask, where is the link? Okay, so first, you don't have the link here. Cool. Just save your event. Okay, just save your event. Come here, then you send. Okay, so when you are done, it creates under here. As you can see, it's being created here. Click on it and you can get the links. Okay, so this is the link to the event. You can chat participants here. So this case, if I chat an external person, we are still going to have the event chat. Okay, so let me try an example for you to see. Okay, so you've seen it here. Hi. So Swati, who is part of the who have added to the event, have the chat. Okay, so that's what you see here. Okay, so you can see the chat here, and this is where the event is going to happen. Okay, so the chat of the event is going to be saved for you. Okay, so that's what happens. So Swati see this chat, yes, and she replies. That's awesome. And when the event starts, this is going live. This is the same as the chat we are having. It's going live. So if you can see, yes. So if you can see, I have couples of them here. So this is an event I hosted. So MLSA Ghana Days 2021. It's an event. You can see I have the attendee list and everything inside there. So I didn't host it in the event platform. I hosted it as event on its own, but all the chats we had, you can see all here, and they can all have access to it.
I lost your voice, bro.
Come again?
I think there is some disturbance at your side, Shady.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I mean, now it's fine to me.
Is he okay?
Yeah,
is
it's
he okay?
Now. Yes.
All right. Sorry. Sure. So you have your attendees report. So you can see the event I hosted. That was far some months ago, but because I didn't host it in the event platform. Those are invited, the guests. You can see them, guests. They are able to chat in the platform. So this is a guest chat. But in case you host it in the event platform, your guests are not able to chat. So take this advice carefully. When you're hosting your event, don't host it in the event channel. Okay, don't host it in the event channel unless you want to host an event where you want to organize, you want to call, you just want to do it in the event channel whereby you don't want your attendees to also chat. That's fine. That one you can host it in the event channel, and your attendees won't be able to see it. They won't be able to chat. They will see the chat and other stuff. They won't be able to comment and stuff. But for you to enjoy having interaction with your community, I will urge you to to just create the event so that you can have event chat. And then your community will also have the interest of also chatting with you as well. That's the best. Okay, so after creating your event, now let's move on. After creating the event, you have, so this is the event I created. Okay, so I can just click here, edit, to see my event that I created. After creating the event, you see we have the links and everything. Everything is here now. Everything. You have sometimes you need to do some settings there. I don't want to do a lot of things for now. I want to go basic. So you have everything here now set. Now the next thing to do is to copy this link and then go to your, so let's use this so that you understand what we are doing. So the next thing we schedule your event on the student ambassador teams tenant. We've done that. Okay. Schedule it on the calendar and share the link with link here. So you can share the link. The link looks plenty. It's a lot. Okay, so you look at the link. That's a lot. It's a whole lot. So if you want to just break the link down, you can use Bitly or any link. Any link shortener to do that. So you can use bit.ly.new to shorten your link as well if you want to. You can use that to shorten your link, and then you create an awesome link, then you share with your community. Okay, so now let's move on. So schedule your event in the student ambassador site. Okay, so the student ambassador site, this is the student ambassador site, the studentambassadors.microsoft.com. That's the site, and you log in with your student ambassador email. When you log in, you go to the far right up corner there. You just tap on the arrow, which will give you the option to your profile, to your events, then my activities, access teams. Okay, so we are going to schedule the event first, as it is said, it is mentioned in the event 101. Okay, so we are here. Okay, so we are here. So schedule your event. Okay, so I'm going there to schedule the event. So let me go there. All right, so you can see the events here. These are events I've hosted. Okay, so I will just go to add event. I'm sure the rest you have a fair idea on that as well. I think, yeah. So it will load actually. This platform normally have these issues, but just have patience. Sometimes it loads faster, sometimes it delays a while. It depends, but it's cool. Yeah, as you can see. So you can. So this is where your title of event goes. So it's my first event. Okay, you have my first event. The time zone is always automatic. Then you give it a description. So this event covers blah 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 on how to blah blah blah. Okay, or this event is about how to host your first event. Okay, so you can give it a description. Okay, when you are done, then you give it there. You go to the event type. Okay, so there is event type here. So is it ambassador hosted event? It's an ambassador hosted event, unless it's a third party speaking event. That's if you have been invited to speak on another event. Okay, then that one you can use the third party speaking event. But for your event, you pick the ambassador hosted event. Okay, then the event format, okay, in person or hybrid, both in person and online, or in person and online, or you pick online if it's online. Then do you want your event to be accessible by others? Do you want it to be shown on your platform that's on your student ambassador profile for others to also visit it? Then if you don't want, you go to private. If you want, you pick public. Then you pick the technology that you are going to use in the event, or the technology you are going to introduce in the event. Okay, it can be AI, it can be business application. That's the Power Apps, Power BI, all these Microsoft business applications. You can use, you can pick if it is about cloud, if it's about data platform. Okay, so with what we are having currently is about because we are going to take you through the Microsoft program. You have to pick something. Okay, so I decided to pick something. I just picked something. I picked the business applications because we are going to use then I picked the Office apps because we are using the Office apps. These are the Office apps, and then Teams is also a business application. So I have to pick that. All right. Then you have your start date when the event is starting and when it's ending. So it's the same date. Okay, if it is just a one-day event, then your time also and your end time also you select it here. Then your expected attendees attendance. Okay, so you can give it, maybe if you are expecting 50, you know the number of people you think you are expecting, you can enter it there. Then the event URL. Okay, so that's the URL I copied. Okay. I've missed something here. Okay. Just a second. I've noticed a new change on the platform.
Yeah, I think so. So in the meanwhile, also one thing, you can edit your event as well any time you would want to before it gets approved.
Yeah, sure. So you can edit your event if you made any mistake. You can edit your event until it gets approved. That's fine. Okay. So this is what I'll do. So this is the event we are having currently. So I've scheduled it. Let me use that to explain it for you quickly. Yes. So as I said, that's what you realize when I'm going through some places, it's very faster, and when I'm going to the other places, it's also, yeah. So that's what sometimes you face here, but don't give up. Don't give up. All right. So this is the event we are hosting. Okay. Okay. I've filled in all this. Yes. Okay, that's fine. So the event URL is here, as you can see. Okay. And then I don't know where this. Okay, so this actually, when you are done with the event, the recorded you can have the recorded URL. Okay. When you're done with the event and the event is being recorded, you can paste the URL here. Then if you are having contributors, okay, so Swati is part of the event, so I've included her name here, so you can include their name here. Then if you want your event to be a high impact event, I will show you where it will be displayed also. So you can make it high impact, you can increase it. That's if your event is very, very special and you want others to also have view of that. So you can do it that way. Okay, then actual attendance. Okay, so all these things pop up just because the event is today. Okay, so most of them are popping. These things are all popping up. They were not there, but they were popping up. They are popping up now. So I will fill in that later after the event. Then it's asking skills acquired after I'm done with the event. So I'll fix in that as well. Okay. So let me show you where. So after you are done with all those things, okay. After you are done with all those things, some you might like to create a form to share with your colleagues to also RSVP the event. Okay, so you can do that. You can, but before that, let me show you where to get all the Microsoft applications on your 365 platform. Okay, so the emails you are all having is a 365 email, which has been given to you free. I will urge you to make very good use of it. If you visit office.com, then you sign in with your MLSA account. Okay. Let me see if this is my MLSA account, because I have a lot of Office 365 accounts. So let me confirm before. Okay, just give me 1 second to confirm if I'm using my MLSA account. Okay, so this is not my MLSA account. I have to sign out. I hope it won't affect my event. Okay, so if you want to have access to all your Microsoft 365 products, okay, you make sure you sign in with your MLSA account. Okay, you make sure you sign in with your MLSA account so that you can have access to all the platforms. So these are the platforms, and you can see I'm sharing this You can see join Teams meeting. I'm sharing this with Swati as well. You can see everything which has been shared is here. Okay, everything I've opened is here. So this is your Office 365 platform. I know some of you know about it, but some of you also don't know. Make sure you install it as well so that you can use the Office 365 free on your desktop. Okay, this is a free account that has been given to you by Microsoft, and I will urge you to enjoy it very well. It's really powerful. Okay, so when you come to the apps, you click on this to display all the apps. Okay, you have your forms here. Okay, you can get your forms here. You can get your forms even if you are in Outlook and you tap on this app launcher, you can get your forms there as well. So go to office.com, have that in mind. Strategy, you can share it in the chat, office.com.
Sure.
Go there to have access to all the application. Your Teams application is also there for your student ambassador program. You have your Outlook here to read your messages. You have your OneDrive here to save your stuffs. Okay, so you go to forms, then you create simple form. Okay, so I will take you through creating of a simple form so that those of you who are new to it will get it well. So you go here, you create a new form. Okay. So this is how the form goes. This is the title. So my first event. It is the title. That's my first event. You can give it a description if you like. Then you add the question. Okay. So is it a choice that someone is going to select A or B? If it is a test question, you just click test. Then you ask maybe name. I like taking these simple questions. Name. You make it required. Then I take email. Okay, that's all I take because I don't want to make it so difficult or so stressful when people are filling the form. Okay, so I like taking the name and email, just that, because I'm going to use the email to send them reminders and also invite them for the event. Okay, so I like taking just the name and the email. That's all, because it's already in your community. Okay, it's in your institution, so you just take the name and the email. That's fine. Okay, that's fine by me. I don't know if it's okay by you. Okay, so you can click on the share. I know from here most of you can get it, right? You can click on the share, you copy it. You can shorten this URL here if you would like. You can take it to Bitly to shorten it up if you like. You can copy it here. So when you copy this form, I can share the form with you for some few people to fill the form. That's fine. Let me see if I can share it with some few people to fill it. Okay. Yes, so make sure this also you set it up. Okay, only people in my organization can respond. Make sure you set it to anyone. Okay, anyone can respond. Don't make it only people in your organization. You make it only people, and that's a whole lot of issue again you are going to face. Okay, so I can share this form with you. So if I can get some, okay, so I can share with you. If I can get some few people to fill that, that's fine. Then so let me go back to my calendar again. Okay, so if I have some few people to fill that form, that's fine. Then I can use that to yes, so I can use that to create. So I want about 2-3 people to fill the form. Okay, I have someone who has filled, so you can get it here. Yep. So all these things, okay, you can automate all this with your Power Automate. You can do Power Automate. Then when people fill the form, they get, they get instant replies and all those things. So you can, if you guys are interested in this, we can do that one day. We can have a whole event on Power Automate for the MLSE. Okay, so Swati has filled the form. So when you click on this, you can open the form, okay, or you can just view the results, or anyhow you want to do it, okay, or you can download the Excel of the form. When you are done with the form, okay, the next thing to do is now you are done with the form. You are preparing, you are done with the form. You have the link, you have the event link, you have also scheduled your event and everything. The next thing you have to do is to design. You need simple flyer, okay, and let's say you don't have Photoshop and other stuffs, okay, don't worry. The program provides us everything we need to I need to drag this. I need to drag this. Let me see if I can drag it. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, awesome. Yes, so here you have okay, you have a platform where you can get all the designs you need host your event. Okay, so if you go to program information, okay, you go to program information and the channels, you see marketing. Okay, in the marketing, you have all you need to prepare your event. Okay, go to file. You have all you need to prepare your event. Okay, you have all you need to prepare your event in the marketing group. Okay, or in the marketing platform. Okay, you have all you need in the marketing channel. You have all you need to do to prepare your event. So you can see them here. There is a whole lot. Okay, so currently we need to create a banner or a flyer, as we all see. We need to create a flyer, and I've downloaded it here. So you can see my Microsoft marketing stuff here. So I've downloaded it. That's what you can see here. Let me just open this up. Okay. So exactly what I'm showing to you, this is it. So I've downloaded them. Okay. So if you want to download, you can just click here to download everything here. Okay. So I've downloaded everything here. So I just use it to do my designs. Okay, if your event you want to give us certificates, okay, there are certificate templates here. Okay, so someone asks the templates, where are the slides and stuff? Where am I going to get the slide? Okay, so they are in the program information marketing. You're going to get everything you need there, but make sure you download everything so that you can have it on your system to use it for your event and other stuff. So we have business cards here. Okay, if you want to create business card for yourself, we have business card here. We have certificates here. If you want to give certificates during the event, you have that also here. You have digital swags. If you want to have you want to use the MLSA stuff for your banner, your your screen background and all those things, is also here as well. You can get all of them here. Your wallpaper, your phone. So this is a mobile phone wallpaper. It's also here. Okay. Then we have email signature. So if you want to have your email signature, the ambassador email signature under your emails, when you send emails, you can also have them here. The instruction to do that is also here as well. Okay, you have the email template. So we are going to use the email template to send email to the attendees, okay, who registered for the event. So we will be doing this. But before, let me just introduce all to you. You have the Imagine Cap stuff here as well. So in case you participated in the Imagine Cup, you have everything you need here for your promotion. Then this is where the slide is. Okay, so someone asked, the slides are here. Okay, let me open it for you to see. So this is white. This is white, or that's light, if I can say that. So you can light, so you can just tap on this for the light to go. Then you have your dark template. So this is what we are using for the event, dark template. So you can pick any of the templates you like. If you don't like this, you can just use the light template, which is pure white. Okay, so those of you asking where to get your slides, this is the slides. Okay, so they are all in the marketing platform. You have the slides, everything here. I'm sure you are liking it now. Yeah, so that's it. And then you have your program badge. Okay, in case that's your MLSE program badge. They are also here as well. Okay, so that's the student ambassador program badge. If you want to use it to do any design, you can have it there. You have program lookup, program lockup. Okay, it's also here. Let me show you that one too. So that's your Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador if you want to use it for design also. So you have almost everything you want to use for designs, and this is where this is what I'm talking about. If you want to design the flyer or the banner for your event, it's also here. This is an animation. You see people posting on Twitter and all those things, animes and stuff. This is where they are. Okay, this is where they belong to. I don't want to be opening them, so I can quickly take you through. Okay, so this is your event banners. If you want to create an event, simple event, you can just use this. You can take this to PowerPoint, then you just write stuff on it, put your image on it. You don't need Photoshop to do that. If you have Photoshop, that's fine. If you don't have, you just take it to your PowerPoint, then you just do the writings on it. Okay, so we have white, we have gray, we have different colors. Okay, so all you've been seeing on social media are all here. Okay, everything you see on social media, this Twitter.
Shady, okay. I hate to interrupt, but can we wrap up after this? We are over time.
Sure. So let's finish it quickly. All right. So you have everything here you need from on your marketing platform. Yes. So quickly, now someone has registered for your event. You need to send the person an email. Okay. So you can use the dark or the light. Okay. I really love using the dark. So you just open the email template. It opens up. So it opens up with your. That's why I mentioned earlier on that. Make sure you sign in into your Outlook with your ambassador account. Okay, so you have your template here, so you can see this is the template. Okay, it's an awesome template. So whoever registered for your event, you just go in and go and pick the person's information. That's Swari registered for the event. You just go here. Then okay, I've seen a lot of people register for the event, so I can just come and copy the email, or I can open the Excel file, then just scroll through. I can open the Excel file and just scroll through and copy the emails. When I copy the emails, all I need is to come and paste the email here. So this is so I can paste all the emails on those and it will pop up because they are part of the community. So it will be popping up. So then you can send a CC, you can CC a copy to yourself. Okay. You can CC a copy to yourself. Then here you can give the headline, that's your first event. Okay, make sure you type it here. So my first event. Okay, you do your first event, then call to action. Maybe you can say something like join event. Okay, join event. So this is a button. Okay, join event is a button. You can, I mean, you can put your link here. So to put the link here, you can just use here, or you can just right click. You use the hyperlink. Okay, so you can just edit the hyperlink. Then you put your event link there. Okay, so I didn't copy the event. So you put the event link there so that when people click on it, they can join the event. Then you can type anything you like here about the event. Then here you put your name. So there are instructions here for you to follow. You put your name, you put your number, and all those stuff here. Then you send the email. Finally, you push the email to whoever registered. Okay, so whoever registered or whoever email is here, if I send this, that person is going to get the email this in this form, and it's very awesome. And you'll be able to click on the icon and join the event. So that's basically how to host your first event, how to create the form. You create the form, I mean, you create the event, you schedule the events. When you're done with the scheduling of the event, you create a form to share with them. So you take their name and the email, because you need the email a lot to send them stuff. So basically, that's all you need to start your first event. I'm sure you guys really like it. And I don't know if you have any question. I'm going to share these links with you. So the marketing link, let me share it with you. So those who still want to have it, I mean, you can just go there straight away. In case you still want to go there straight away without any stress. Okay, so let me just copy the link. Yes, copy the link and share with you in the event. Okay, so I'm sharing the marketing link with you for you to have the event stuff there as well. All right, so I think that's cool. If you have any question, you can ask. I would like to wrap up. If you ask, and if you have any question, you can ask so that we just help you out. If you have any question, you can unmute and talk, or you can just drop it in the conversation. That's fine. We are here to assist you to have the best of your event.
Yeah, Sherry, that was awesome. I mean, that was an awesome demo. So Diksha has a question. Is it necessary to collab with someone while hosting? Certainly not, Diksha. I mean, this is if you would want to, then you can collab, right? So if you think that you can manage everything on your own and it's fine by you, then it's fine. But so sometimes there are some services or some domains which a person is kind of expert in. So in that case, you can invite that person to speak at your event. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
collaboration is always fun. I mean, I know how much fun it has been collaborating with Shady.
That's really awesome. I mean, it's good to have people join you to also talk
Yes.
on your event. Yeah, you can and being an MLSA, you have huge access to the Microsoft community. You can invite most of the Microsoft employees to speak at your event as well.
Yes. That's the fun part.
Yeah. All right. So I think we don't have much questions again. I don't know, but the video is recorded, and I'm sure this is very simple. I'm sure most of you have enjoyed the best of it, and I'm sure you all like it. I will share the event 101 slide with you guys right now. Let me get it and share it with you right now, also so that you can have access to that as well. But I don't know if anyone has any question to ask.
Do share your event link, guys, when you create your first event. I would really love to join your events.
Yeah, that's awesome. When you create your first event, you can share the link with us. You can share it on the event platform, or you can share with me personally or Swati personally for us to join your event. That's fine. I mean, we are always there for you guys. Okay, so I don't think we have any question. I'm sharing this with you guys as well. I don't think we have any question. All right, so thank you very much, guys, for joining us. We really appreciate your presence, and we know you've loved what you've seen, and we are happy to have you. If you're a new MLSC, we are happy to say welcome again to the program, and we are hoping you give out your best of the program, and then as Swati said, if you are hosting your event and you have any difficulty or challenges, just reach out to us. We are always around to help you as well. And then I would like you guys to start hosting your events. I mean, start hosting your events as soon as possible. I mean, if not possible, just relax. Don't rush. But if you think it's possible for you to host your event, start hosting your event with a minimum of 15, 20. 20 is fine at your event. That's fine. Just start hosting a great event. Thank you very much, guys, for joining. And then also, if you want to connect with us, okay, if you want to connect with us, you can connect with me, Kujo Shady. Okay, I'm using Kujo because I'm a Monday born. That's why you're seeing the Kujo there. Okay, in Ghana. So Kujo Shady on Twitter, or you can follow Swadi as well on Twitter. And then also you can follow me on LinkedIn, Shadrach Inusa, and Swati Rajwa, also on LinkedIn as well. So just type in the names on LinkedIn, and you can just get us. I mean, you can interact with us, you can chat with us. My DM is always open. I'm sure Swati is always open as well. So you can just interact with us. Thank you very much, everyone. And we would like to end this event here. Swati, do you have anything to say?
No, not much. Not really.
All right. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. As I mentioned earlier on, if you have anything, you have any question, anything at all you want to, you have to just reach out to us, and we will be there to assist you, both on Teams or on Twitter or on LinkedIn. We are always ready to assist you. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And we see.
Let's
Can we
take
have a
pictures,
picture?
Shady. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I was making this.
Oh, I didn't actually set up. Okay. Let me see if I can. I didn't set up for
See, I'm
this
always
event.
ready.
Mm, okay. So, let me see if I can have my face shown a little. Where's my camera? All right. Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't really set up, so my light is really bad here. I just hope.
You look
Wait.
awesome, Shady.
Oh, really? Thank you very much. Let me just see if I can get my phone light on, so I can just give myself a good image. Okay, so this light is really flashing. Oh, my eyes. Okay, so I think I've gotten myself a light. I have a light here for event, but I didn't put them on actually. So all right.
Cheese.
Yeah, so okay, you are taking the image. You can okay, sorry, you can take it. You can take it. Let me stop sharing.
Okay.
I'm not using the app actually, so
That's fine.
you
That's
can
fine.
take
I'll take the picture.
yeah.
Say cheese.
Hey, am I showing?
Yeah, certainly you are.
Oh, yeah. So cheese, everyone. Hi.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I think that that's Diksha, right?
Yeah.
Hi, Diksha. All right, I
Oh,
think
okay.
that's a wrap. Thank you everyone for joining. We'll connect soon. I hope you create your first events. Do share the
Sure.
links. I'll be more than happy to join.
Yeah, myself, I'll be happy to join you guys as well.
Okay. Have a good
Yeah,
day,
thank you
everyone.
all for
Bye.
joining. Enjoy your day.